President Mnangagwa has mourned the death of retired RTD Major General Sidney Bebb, saying it is saddening that Zimbabwe is losing revolutionary cadres who joined the Second Chimurenga Mbukela. Major General Bebb, RTD, 61, died at the Avenues Clinic on Monday evening. His death comes hard on the heels of the death of Major General RTD Godfrey Chanakira, who died on May 26, and Major General RTD Sikalile Simpson Nyathi, who died on June 5 and was buried on Monday. President Mnangagwa said he was greatly saddened and pained by the passing on of Major General RTD Bebb, who he described as another distinguished war veteran and senior officer. The demise of the late Major General Bebb casts yet again a dark shadow over our nation, which is still grieving the losses in succession of two national heroes, the late Major Generals RTD Godfrey Chanakira and Sikalile Nyathi, in the space of 2 weeks. Our nation is fast losing members from a generation of revolutionary cadres who joined the armed liberation struggle of our Second Chimurenga in the 70s. Zimbabwe is all the poorer as these cadres formed the bedrock of our revolutionary ethos now and in the future, said the president. He said Major General Bebb left a legacy of heroism and humility that helped birth Zimbabwe as a nation. The late Major General, who was diabetic, bequeathed to us a legacy of heroism tempered with humility, honesty and loyalty, attributes put to the advancement of the liberation struggle and to our nation Zimbabwe, he said. President Mnangagwa sent his condolence to the Bebb family for their loss. On behalf of ZANU-PF, government, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, and indeed on my behalf, I wish to express my heartfelt condolences to the Bebb family, especially to his wife Sarah and the children, who have lost a loving husband, father and mentor. As they grieve the loss of their dearly departed, may they be comforted by the knowledge that the whole nation joins them in mourning the loss of one who was no longer theirs alone, but a national figure, said the president. The Commander National Army, ZNA, Lieutenant General David Sigok, announced Major General RTD Bebb's untimely death in a statement yesterday. Retired Brigadier General Levi Malem said they crossed paths several times with the late Major Gen. RTD Bebb. He said he possessed good leadership and team-building skills and always paid attention to duty. He also described the late Major Gen. RTD Bebb as a humble and simple man who maintained good relations with other people. I first met the late Major Gen. RTD Sidney Bebb in 1977 in Zambia when we joined ZIPRA. We went our separate ways for military training and subsequent assignment, and then we met again in 1981 soon after being integrated into the Zimbabwe National Army. He was an ever-jovial man and friendly to all those he interacted with, he said. RTD Brig Gen. Malem added. As a military officer in the ZNA, I knew the late Major General Bebb as an inborn administrator. He loved administration duties, and he was good at it. I worked closely with him at Army headquarters with several other middle-ranking field officers, most of whom later became generals. Former ZIPRA Chief of Military Intelligence retired Brigadier General Abel Mazanian said he met the late Major Gen. RTD Bebb during his visit to the Boma training camp in Angola, where the late Major General was training with other comrades. He said he later met him after independence when the comrades had returned home. RTD Brig Gen. Mazanian said he recalls having a conversation about the need to have the graves of fellow comrades that died in Angola marked. He said the late Major Gen. RTD Bebb continued serving his country for 42 years after independence, which was a clear indication of his dedication. The late Major General Bebb was junior to me, but I saw him as he trained during my visits to the Boma training camp in Angola. After he completed his training, he was appointed an instructor. I recall we were discussing the need to have the mass graves in Angola marked as part of efforts to recognize and value our comrades who died in the struggle, he said. RTD Brig Gen Mazanian added, Major Gen Beb valued the revolutionary gains. His death is a huge loss to the country. I hope the youths have learned something from him, as he is someone to emulate. 42 years after independence, he was still serving the country. The late Major Gen. RTD Beb was born on December 30, 1960, at Massis Mission Hospital in Barangwa District, Midlands Province. He did his primary education at various schools in Barangwa and Harare from 1967 to 1973. He then proceeded for his secondary education at Massis Secondary School in Barangwa from 1974 to 1977. He joined the liberation struggle under the Zimbabwe African People's Revolutionary Army (ZIPRA) after crossing the border into Zambia via Botswana in April 1977. The late freedom fighter received military training at Boma Training Camp in Angola in 1977. After completing basic training in March 1978, he was selected to be an instructor and underwent further military training in semi-conventional and conventional warfare at the same camp. At independence, the late Major Gen. RTD Beb was attested into the Zimbabwe National Army on April 1, 1981. He rose through the ranks to Major General in 2021 and retired the same year. He is survived by his wife Sarah and 3 children. Funeral arrangements will be announced in due course. Mourners are gathered at number 15 Cranbourne West Married Quarters, Hatfield in Harare.